Hey class, Professor Kennedy here. Welcome you back for a new season and a new edition of Chalk Talk, brought to you by the Ray Morgan Company. So what do you think? New set, new look, a lot of new players. And that's where we begin this class's breakdown. Remember in late April at the draft, a lot of people from Raider Nation didn't appreciate it. We drafted number 15 overall, an offensive tackle out of UCLA. A lot of you asked me if this kid was going to be ready to play in time for the season because we had a big hole in the offensive line. I told you yes because I like the pick. And I want to show you how far he's come along in such a short time. So let's take a look at the Lions game. This is one of the first plays that caught my attention on just how athletic and aware this young man is. Let's take a look at it full speed first. Notice Kolton's man slips down and he's able to still pick up an inside linebacker. Now we saw the play in full speed. Let's slow it down for you at home to understand. Anthony Zettel is Kolton Miller's responsibility. Jalen Richard in the normal protection would have this Mike linebacker, Davis. But Jalen is going to run a circle route. Get open and catch the ball for 5 yards. That means that now Kolton Miller has the most dangerous on a vertical set. He'll set straight back. He has 1 to 2. Fortunately for Kolton, Zettel's going to slip down as we saw at the start of the play. And Kolton Miller is going to show great awareness by just getting a bump on Davis to free up Connor Cook to throw the ball to Jalen Richard for a 5-yard gain. Great awareness by the young man. On this next play, I want to turn your attention to the Green Bay game. Now, in order to explain this effectively at home, I want you guys to think of a boxer. When you see a guy boxing, you don't see them ever throw out 2 fists at the same time. The same philosophy goes for offensive tackle. You always have to have what we call a recourse hand. So if you make a strike with one hand, you have the ability to recourse from another, but you never give yourself totally up because you have to play in space. What Kolton does here is even though he extends double hands, and when Clay Matthews spins, he's able to use his hips and hands to come back and recover and get enough on Clay Matthews to redirect him. Take a look. Look at Kolton's position. You see the double strike? Now, since he's committed, Clay's able to get him initially, but he shows great footwork and rebounding and bringing his hips back to get in between him and the quarterback. As the game progresses, an offensive lineman remembers, learn from your mistakes as you go on. In this instance, Kolton Miller is going up against Reggie Gilbert. This young man, number 93, is going to be a force to watch in the National Football League. He was an undrafted rookie out of Arizona, and he's going to be a pretty doggone good player. He's got a good bull rush and a good spin move, and this time he's got a great acceleration on the outside. But Kolton, remember what I told you about the philosophy of a boxer? Kolton is going to use one arm, and he's going to keep his other arm back in order to make contact and push Reggie off of his spot. Reggie's just going to make a simple upfield arm over move to try to beat Kolton around the horn. What Kolton does, set back vertically, kind of turn at a 45-degree angle, hit with his inside arm, and as Reggie makes his move on his outside, hits with his other arm, that pushes Reggie out the way. Watch. Look at the vertical set. Now he's still in good position. See how he pulls back that outside arm and then follows it up quickly with enough power to push Reggie onto the ground. So in summary, what did we learn? We learned that number 77 looks to be ready for the National Football League, but we won't really know until the games start. I've been impressed with his progress not only through training camp but the OTAs. He's picked up the offense, and it looks like he's going to be the main staple at left tackle there. Now we just got to find an answer for right tackle, and I think Donald Penn's going to be able to fill that position. That does it for this week's edition of Chalk Talk, class. I'll see you next week.